this is working. Alright. Wow, this is weird jumping back into this. Alright, welcome. I've been away from live streaming for a long time. Over the summer my computer crapped out on me and it did it again a few weeks ago, so now I'm just now getting back into it. So I'm getting back into it by flying probably one of the hardest jets to fly, which is the DC-9. We'll see how this goes. I'm thinking it'll at least go halfway well, we hope. I've been trying to get this to work for a while, so hopefully it will. If it doesn't, I guess it's really no big deal. But, with that in mind, let's just go ahead and jump right into this, because it's a Thursday night. Tomorrow night's going to be Friday night ops. I'll probably be flying a 737. Tonight, I just wanted to get back to the basics. I just wanted to get back to my roots. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump onto the flight deck. Now, if you've never flown a DC-9 before, if you've never really seen it, this looks a lot different than what most people are used to. Most people are going to be used to large CRT displays or LCD. Basically, they're not used to seeing round dials in a big jet. Well, I mean, the DC-9, a massive jet. Well, I wouldn't say massive. 747s are massive, but the DC-9 is a decent-sized jet. We're flying the Dash 30 model, so this is the middle model. Let's see. Turn these off. This is the middle model. But yeah, all right. So we're on the flight deck. Let's go ahead and kick the battery on. Now, normally in the real world, I've actually, in the last few days, I've been on the flight deck of a lot of DC-9s, since a lot of them are flying into my airfield. If you go on FlightAware, I'm sure you can figure out which one I'm on. But the flows used for pre-flight are pretty much the same as you find on pretty much any large jet, but I learned some of them. I just can't simulate it because this DC-9, while it's good, isn't quite good enough to do that. Hopefully the Icarus DC-9 will take care of that once it's released, but we'll find out. Anyway, so on the real DC-9, normally we click this little thing over here to battery and read what the voltage says. Right now it doesn't really say anything, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and say it says 26 volts, so we're going to go ahead and kick the battery on. Alright, battery's on. We can verify that by the generators. I'm wondering if this thing is no longer muted. So we've got the annunciators down here that have kicked on. Now, I'm going to come down here and we'll just say we've done a loops test. So, we just did a loops test. It's nothing major, really. It's just something that's... It's just a non-functioning button. So, we've got the loops test done. So, in the real world, we'd be listening for the bell, and we'd also look up here to make sure that 6 amber lights illuminated. Once we've got that done, we go ahead and make sure the fire agents are off, the air is off, fire cont switch is normal, and then we're going to go ahead and switch the battery master, or the APU master rather, to on, and we'd be waiting to hear this bzzz sound from the back of the plane. That is a set of louvers that are opening on the bottom of the fuselage. And we wait a few seconds. We've got that done. We're going to go kick the start pump on and kick the right aft, or correction, the right pumps on. That's good. So master, and APU is rising. Rising. Now in the real airplane, you want to open this lever right here because this is the outflow lever, and if you don't, you're going to blow your eardrums. I actually had this happen to me today. Alright, so 100%. We're going to go ahead and kick the left on, then the right. In the real airplane, you want to kick this little meter over to APU and make sure that you're getting 115 volts and 400 cycles per second, which would be in this gauge right here, but it's not. And then you kick it on, just to make sure that it's giving enough power. So, we've got that done. Now we're going to go ahead and go through our pre-flight flow. I'm doing what I remember, so this might be kind of rough. So we come up here, we do the CVR test. We're just going to go ahead and click test, and you know we just wait for this to jump. Let me go to the electrical power, reset the gens. We'll just say that we're doing that because it won't do it, and then keep the APU generator on. Going down here, we look at the load, and then finally come down here for the electrical switches. APU's on, external power is off, auto and open for the bus tie and for the bus ties. And then down here, we can turn the start pump off since we don't need it. We'll go ahead and kick on the no smoking and the seatbelt signs. These are our lights. They do work, cool. Oh, look at that, it's snowing. Go ahead and bring our pitot heat on, which we're going to need. We're going to go ahead and test the airfoil anti-ice. You'll see wing anti-ice on. You're looking for that little blue guy. Windshield anti-ice. We might get the windshield overheat, which we do on this one. And finally, the engine anti-ice. So we got both of those on. And with these on, we check the tail, but this one doesn't do that. So, alright. So, right in the fuel pressure low. So we'll go ahead and do this. And it doesn't go away. I wonder if it goes away with this. So the start pump makes it go away. Alright. We can take it. Alright. So, now coming back up, emergency power, we're going to click it on. APU masters, we've already worked with that. Coming back up to the electrical panel, we're good with that. And then we come back down. So the vibration monitor, we don't have that installed. Overhead lights, you can go ahead and turn the lights on. Anti-skid, we're gonna go ahead and turn it off and then test the circuits, which we can't really do here. Supply, and let's see here, this is the temperatures. So these aren't bad. Let's see here, we're gonna keep these off. Come down here. We are going to set our altitude, our flight altitude to, we have 2 set, 3 set, can't remember what my, there we go. Alright, so we're going to come up here, and we are cruising at flight level, I think I said 260, so we'll set 260. And then we're going to go ahead and test the rain repellents. Doesn't really want to go. And then coming back up again, we'll go ahead and hit this little guy. That'll test everything. Alright. And ram air is off. Air conditioning auto shut off is armed. Radio rack venturi, we're on the fan. We'll go ahead and kick the mock trim on. Any collision light and position light can come on as well. Let's see here, testing everything else. We'll go ahead and say that we're in ARM. Let's see here, the mock trim component. So if we move this up to test, you'd see the control yoke slowly go forward, which we don't. And then once you move it back to override, the control yoke can come back where it was. Speed test. This is the clapper. So basically what you hear on the 7.3. And then coming back up. Alright, overhead panel checks out. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we have enough fuel on board. So luckily this was a fairly easy fueling job. Just need to customize weight balance of fuel. Alright, so total internal fuel weight. We are going to go ahead and go back over to my Garmin Pilot. I've got the release over here documents. Alright. Block fuel 11,398. 11. Yeah, we can actually keep it. Gives about 200 pounds more. Alright. So we've got enough fuel for the ride. So it pretty much wraps that up. Now, usually I like to do these kinds of things on VATSIM, but right now VATSIM unfortunately isn't on. So instead, what we're dealing with is we're just dealing with Unicom. So we're going to go ahead and pull up the charts for Ypsilanti. Expired. I guess I got to update my jet charts again. So we'll run ATIS 127.425. We're not going to worry about that right now. I wonder if X-Plane simulates VOTs. 112.0. 1.2.0. 180. Does it do it? It doesn't do it. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, so we'll run tower in the event that they do go ATC 0 in the real world, since they're a 24-hour tower. Would be 125.275. So we're gonna go ahead and set that. 125. 27. I'm going to transfer it. 125.27. Alright. So. Alright, so it's been about 2 minutes. So this little guy is already open. So we can bring the air on and open the cross feeds. I think I'm doing this right. So now I got APU air established to the aircraft. We're going to go ahead and bring this. Oh, cool, it reversed it. Alright. Awesome. So, we're on an IFR flight plan to Lafayette, Indiana. Coming down from Detroit. It's going to be about a heading of about 231, 232, 233. So we're going to go ahead and set that. 2, 3. Basically, if we take off out of YIP and keep, if we take off from one of the 2-3s and we take off out of YIP, alright, 31017 goes to 285 miles, light snow, overcast 1500, temperature 32.0, altimeter 29072. So we bring that back, 29732. Alright. And make sure it checks out. The airport's elevation is about 714. Airport elevation 716. 972. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and hydraulic us. So this little switch over here brought the auxiliary pump on, so that actually introduced hydraulic pressure to the system. I'm gonna go ahead and test the spoilers. We've got that. It does not have an auto retract like the real DC-9 does, so that's fine. Alright. Alright, and then hydraulics released. So, we're done with that. Now we're done with that, we can go ahead and select a starting system. So for the 30, we're going to select both. Now before we do this, I do want to go through the before start checklist. So the APU the APU is operating, and we do have power online. So circuit breakers are going to be checked and on. Flight recorder has been checked and set. Voice recorder is tested. The oxygen masks and regulators would normally be down here, but they are not. So we'll just go ahead and say they're checked on 100%. Indicating lights, we already did that. That was when we lit up the Christmas tree. Electrical panels set and battery on. DC start pumps off. Fuel boost pumps checked. And we're going to leave the right ones on. Cabin emergency lights are tested and armed. Seat belts and no smoking is as required. Pitot and static heat checked and off. Airfoil and engine ice protection are off. Windshield heat is coming on. Instrument warning is tested. Stall warning, that would be up here under the stall test, but that is not there, so we'll just have to trust it. Anti-skids tested. Off speed command is tested. MTC is tested. Normal. Radio rack is set to fan. Air conditioning pressure checked and set. Air conditioning auto shut off is armed. Ram air is as required. It's actually off today. Warning and caution lights have been tested. Exterior lights are as required. Fire warning has been tested. Max speed warning is tested. Gear lever, you got down 3 green. Flaps and slats are retracted and blue lights out. Hydraulic panel, or hydraulic quantity rather. So this is going to be the FO side. We're going to go ahead and move this. Quantity is set, or quantity is noted rather. Brake pressure, we've got 3,000 pounds. Oil quantity is sitting pretty at about 13 quarts. Fuel, we've got about 11,600 pounds. Counters have been reset. Autopilot servos are on, and we're going to go ahead and select this with a... I don't think it's going to do it. It's only going to do it with one round.
Caution.
There we go. Now you're off. Cool. Stack selectors are normal flight instruments. Magnetic compass has been checked. Radios and altimeters are checked and set. Trim controls. So we're going to go ahead and move our trim back into the green band. So that's up on the upper middle. There's a little white thing that's sliding back. That's our trim. All right. Spoilers are forward and disarmed. Auto throttles are disengaged. Rotor hydraulic power is set to power. Fuel cross speed is off, so that'd be this little guy right here. Cabin pressure control is auto. Fuel control levers are off. Autopilot is off. Stab trim switch is normal. Pneumatic cross feeds are open. And we'll go ahead and hold off on the rest of it. We'll be below the line after that. I'm using a real checklist, by the way. Southern Airways. Basically, the checklists are about the same no matter where you go. So we are actually about ready to fire it up. So I'm going to go ahead and kick the anti-collisions on. Take a look outside, see the aircraft. Something that kind of surprises me is that for all its brightness, the wing lights on this airplane are not that great. No worries. So heading back into the flight deck, below the line, parking brake is set. Anti-collision lights on. Air conditioning supply is off. Fuel boost pumps. We're gonna go ahead and turn both the mains on. All right, ignition. We're on both. Seatbelt no smoking sign is on, and we are ready to start. So to start, we're going to verify that we have the cross feeds are set. Let's see, your APU air is on. In the real airplane, there's a little gauge right here that says pneumatic pressure. We want to make sure it's down here. For this aircraft, it'll be down there. So with that said, we can go ahead and start it. So we're going to go ahead and start the right first. And you can hear it kicking on. And it 16, 17, 18%. Engine's kicked on. Oil pressure and 35%. And we're going to go ahead and kick it off. Alright, wing lights coming up and off. Alright. And we're going to go and do the same thing on the left. Alright, fire on the left. Start valve's open. And 2's climbing. Alright. Oil pressure. 35, starter release. And we're going to go ahead and find the V-speed that we need. So for takeoff in the DC-9, now I can't find a good speed book to use, so I wound up just using the speed book from the DC-9-40. It's almost identical to a DC-930, just a little bit further off. Not quite further off, but not quite as great. Alright, so we're about, let's see what our takeoff weight was. Should be in the documents somewhere. Alright, takeoff, estimated takeoff weight 67, so that's going to be 35 ton, or 30, 67 divided by 2, 33 tons. And 33. Alright. Wow. Alright. So, I'm going to set our V speeds. Alright, so V plane 171. V2 of 124. 39 cents. 116 VR. 10, 12, 14, 16. V1 is the same. And a climb speed of 260. And climb speed of 260. So, got that set. Alright, and we are all started. So, before taxi checklist, well, it was snowing here, so I'm going to go ahead and kick the engine anti-ice on. Hydraulic pumps, we got 4 on, and system is normal. Flaps and slats. Alright, so flaps and slats, we're going to set flaps 5 for departure. And the slats. Let's go 5. At some point, we should get a little blue light here saying slats are extended. It does take a little bit longer, but yep, there we go. Slats extend, got the blue light. Alright, set for takeoff. In transit light is off. Alright. Gear pins and gear lights are checked. Ignition is coming off. Electric panel is. Let's see, electric panel is checked. We're going to go ahead and turn the generators on, kick the APU off, air off, APU itself off, and air coming back on. Alright. Alright, cool. Air conditioning supplies auto, door lights are out, and before taxi checklist is complete. So. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and set the checklist aside for right now. Actually, no, we're not. So, above the line is going to be the taxiing checklist, and below the line is going to be before takeoff. So, taxiing checklist. Stab trim is reset, anti-ice is as required. Pitot static heat, we're going to go ahead and kick that on. And I'm just going to turn all the anti-ice protection on. Fuel heat is as required. We do not need that today. Fuel boost pumps, center off, mains on, got those. Flight instruments, yaw damper is on. Flight controls. This is when we do we just move everything through its full range. Full forward, full back, full right, full left, full right for the rudder. Alright, and performance data and bugs. Usually around 1.9 will be fine for takeoff. We'll use that. We got the JT8D-9. Alright. So, here we go. Alright, taxi checklist is complete, but once we get below the line, we will continue before takeoff. Alright. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off and head off to the southwest. Now, winds of 310. It's just off the line. It's just so 320 would be 90 degrees. So actually, we're in the right spot. Actually, no. We're going to take off runway 27 instead of runway 23 left. We're going to take off runway 27. All right. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and plug the Fort Wayne VOR into our system as well. 117.8. Alright, 117.8. And the course of 232. Three. All right. All right, coming up on 27. There we go. That would be why. Because I do not have a profile set. Probably me. Alright. Get rid of that too. Alright, so before takeoff checklist. APU's automatic crossfeeds are as required. Radar and transponder as required. We're going to go ahead and set 2. No, that's right, it doesn't like to do that. Alright, 2200 and kick the transponder on. 125275. Alright. Radar and transponder is required. Flight recorder is on. The skid is armed. Ignition. We're going to go ahead and sticker on both. Let's see. Our enunciator panel has been checked. Windshield overheat and everything else. That's to be expected. This thing likes to do windshield overheat. Stewardess signal. Go ahead and ring that. And before takeoff checklist is complete, we're coming up on this. Snow's illuminated. And here we go. Willow Run traffic, Jet USA 228, departing runway 27 north to the southwest, Willow Run. So, away goes the checklist. Off come the brakes. Up comes the power. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a rolling takeoff. We're just going to roll it. Reverse it. Alright. And power up. Positive rate. Here's coming up. Alright. I'm going to bring our EPR down to 1.8. And that'll be our climb EPR. And we're gonna go ahead and turn on course. Willow Run traffic, Jet USA 228 departing off to the southwest. Willow Run traffic. Alright, so we've reached our heading. We're heading up to 10,000 feet. Alright, let's see, your slats and flaps are retracted. Alright, now we can basically let the airplane trimmed out for about 180 knots, so we're going to go ahead and keep it there. We're climbing really quick, like this airplane will climb. Alright, let's see, 10,000. Alright, and we were picking up the VOR, so we're going to go ahead and use the sensing on that one. Since we've got an HSI, we're not going to reverse sense, but it's still a good idea to put on the right course. Alright, we've broken out of the clouds. We've got some turbulence, but not too much. Alright, 9,000. And we're just going to take it up to 260. So, there's 10. And lights coming up and off. Alright, now we're a ways away from the Fort Wayne VOR, probably on the order of about 70 or 80 miles at least. Like 100 miles. So, as such, we're just going to go ahead and fly the head of the needle. So, when I say fly the head of the needle, this is something I learned when I was still in instrument training, and we can actually go ahead and increase our speed above 250 now. We're just going to go ahead and use our climb speed at 260. What I mean when I say fly the head of the needle is that we're going to intercept our course if we fly, basically if we draw a line up from this little airplane to the head of this offset piece of the CDI needle, or the HSI needle, and keep it there, and we fly that heading. So right now we're flying about 210, it's about 30 degrees off, or about 20 degrees off rather, and we're just going to let this work. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and introduce some nose down trim that'll get our speed going up. Now this airplane is completely manual. When I say that, when I say an airplane is completely manual, I mean to the point where you have to really be careful about it because you can get off altitude very, very easily. Also, we're coming up on about 3,000 feet until we have to reset our altimeters. Alright, so we're coming back up. We're going to go ahead and enter a slight right bank. We're going to go ahead and bring this needle. Now our winds aloft are admittedly not the best for today. And see, the least I've got has... here it is. Flight level 260 over the Fort Wayne VOR 231 at 51 knots. So basically a straight headwind. So basically we're dealing with a straight headwind. Here's flight level 180, so we're going to go ahead and bring our altimeters up to standard 2992. I'm not doing very well with the speed management. So this is a purely, alright, so what we're going to do is, on the second course, we're going to go and set the boiler VOR. So 5.1. And from Fort Wayne, I believe there's a Victor Airway that goes off of that. There is not, supposedly. So off of the boiler VOR, I'm looking at about... That's fine. Up to 260. So about the 260 radial. Got 4,000 to go. Climbing 2,000 feet a minute. And then we're going to go ahead and take the speed up to about 300. Because this airplane is a tank. Absolute tank. Alright, we can go ahead and bring the speeds off. Climb checklist, seatbelts, no smoking signs are as required. Ignition is as required. Fuel system, we're going to go ahead and keep where it is. We have nothing in the center tanks anyway. Air conditioning auto shut off. We're going to override you, so we'll click that. Hydraulic pumps, so the auxiliary pump is coming off. The rest of it can stay where it is. And climb checklist is complete. Descent checklist is only one item, so we're going to do that. We got 80 miles left to go, 166 to boiler. 1,000 to go. So flight level 260. And let's not go ahead and start. Let's not start descending. Back up to that. Let's get that last 100 feet back. So, the one caveat that I have when I live stream is that I've got a good computer for running X-Plane, but the problem is it doesn't multitask very well. I don't have a gaming, I've got a gaming laptop, which is what I'm running this off of, but it's not good enough to really run an X-Plane live stream. So, if anyone's watching this and you're stuck around, honestly, thank you. The power of my breath, thank you, because it means a lot. It really does. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring our EPR back to about 1.75, and that will climbing again. It's not climb. One bad thing about DC-9s is they love to overshoot. You gotta be real careful. Like, even a half a degree will get you about 500 foot when I climb with this airplane. Don't get me wrong, it's a good DC-9, it's just sometimes this is better. So, I'm gonna go ahead try to find, or this. Alright. Speed. There we go, and finish that. Yeah, I wound up 200 below. Alright. This airplane is awesome. It will fly very well heading. So I'm going to go ahead and set. Alright, so we got 68 miles to Fort Wayne VOR and about 153 to the boiler VOR. And we're above the clouds, we're above all the weather. We're just flying. Bring down just a little bit, 1.70 for the EPR. As you can tell, it's also been a while since I filmed this airplane. I usually am not so bad about being plus minus 200 feet consistently. Let's go ahead and get our heading forward just a tad. We're going to go ahead and 20 degrees of bank for a 5-degree turn. That's impressive. Alright. So right now there's really not much to do. So probably when we get into Lafayette, what's going to happen is we're going to shoot the ILS for runway 10. Now the ILS for runway 10 is kind of tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that now. Rather than ready yet, we're going to bring our EPR up. It's almost 250, so 1.55 here. Alright, so destination Lafayette. be on 127.75. Personal approach 123.85. Chicago Center 123.81. Personal operator, which actually right now it is. Since it's 10:15 at night, both approach and tower are closed, so we're going to be talking Chicago Center. Lafayette Tower, CTAP is going to be on 119.6 and ground is going to be on 121.9. We're not going to be using that right now. The localizer is going to be 110.3. Final approach course of 100. Glide slope at Earl, which is the locator out of marker. It's going to be 2,165 degrees. Feet. The ILS decision height is 200 feet, so we're going to go ahead and just set that in now. Feet. Upper elevation is 606, touchdown zone 601, NSA around Earl is 2,600 feet. This approach climb 1,600 and climb left turn to 2,300 feet at 360 degree heading and inbound to the Boiler VOR radio 1202 to the Boiler VOR then hold. So basically you go out and climb 1,600 feet, turn north, and then intercept the 120 radio to the Boiler VOR and then hold on the 143 radio. And hold inbound on the 143. So leading into the runway, we've got a Mauser coming in with a Cappy on the left. Our ground speed probably going to be around 120 to 140, so about 700 feet down. We'll keep this in good shape for the ILS. And straight landing, half-mile visibility is going to be required. So the approach, we've already gone and briefed it. We're not flying a star, so it's no big deal. We're not flying a star, no big deal. And we can go back to where we're going to go. So, thank God for autopilot. Seriously, thank God for it. So, we saw the plots apart for a second. We will catch the lights here. That was Fort Wayne. So we're coming up on that VOR actually right now, 34 miles left to go. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get the weather in Lafayette. See how much of a tailwind we're going to be dealing with. Alright, winds straight out of the west at 15 knots. Right, so we're actually outside of our tailwind component. I'm not IFR circle land qualified. 3017? Flew up. So Lafayette METAR is 3017. That can't be right. Yeah, 3017. Showing 3,200 is about 10 miles, so we actually could do a VFR. We could do VMC circle line. That could be it. That could be possible. Again, guys, I'm sorry for the really crappy. Oh, wait, cut this out or something like that. One thing I don't like about. If I use Safari. Alright. So looking at the front of the major. Coming up on 22 miles. Alright, starting to slip to the right a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and bring our heading about 3 degrees to the left. Usually in an IFR flight, you really don't want to correct too much. When you're intercepting a heading, or intercepting a radial flying the head of the needle, it's a good idea. If you are trying to fly on a radial, then no more than 5 degrees of correction either way, because otherwise it just looks bad. So we've got about 3 degrees of correction in right now. That'll get us either maintaining or coming back to our heading, and then we're going to go ahead and fly the 260 degree course to the Lafayette VOR. 260 260. Huh, I guess it doesn't do it. Oh, okay, so it links to this. Got it. So 17 miles left to go. 17 miles left to go to the Fort Wayne VOR. We're 26,000 feet. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a 1,500 foot per minute descent. 26 times 3. So 78 miles from the boiler VOR. So basically once we cross Fort Wayne, we're actually going to start descending. So what we're going to do is we're going to initially do a descent to 10,000 feet. So we'll plug 10,000 right now. Since we're flying uncontrolled, we're basically flying like we normally would. So we've got 3017 set in for Lafayette. So Lafayette's 27015, visibility 10, fuel class 2300, broken at 32, overcast 7,000, temperature -1, dew point -3, altimeter 3017. So, oh my God, the snow's ended. It's snowing here all day. It's Halloween. It should not be snowing. I digress. Anyway. Let's see how our cabin altitude is doing. Wow, cabin altitude is not even 2,000 feet. Differential pressure about 6.3. Pressurization system. Right. Two, three, three, 7 miles. We're in that cone of confusion, but we're going to go ahead and start turning to the 260 radial now. 260 and 115.1. And once that swings in, we'll find the radio. We'll see the radio come alive. All right, go ahead and start turning. You gotta be real careful about this one too. Now, if I was really wanting to cheat, I could plug in. Okay, yeah, we're starting to see that come alive. The radial itself is starting to come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly this heading. Now, also, once we get here, I'm going to go ahead and start configuring for a descent. So we're going to go ahead and slow our speed down to about 280 knots. So we're going to bring our APR back to about 1.4. By the way, if anyone's saying something in the chat, I really can't see it because I haven't got the... I'm not able to watch it. So hopefully, if you guys are saying something, I'm sorry, I'm completely missing it. This live stream is mostly just to get my encoder going back up again. So, let's see how this goes. Alright, let's try about 1.25. 7, 6, and 5. Let's see how that does. Crossing through 200 knots. Alright, coming down to 10,000. I'm going to go ahead and alright, I'm going to go ahead and start a So we're starting our descent into Lafayette right now. Local time is 10:25 p.m. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and shoot the RLS. We're traveling, we're heading to the boiler VOR right now. That VOR, once we cross it, we'll be in a good position to actually turn basically straight south and then intercept the glide slope at 2,300 feet. Now, if we wanted to, we could fly the back course and do the procedure turn to come back in. However, in a DC-9, it's going to be a little bit difficult because we travel way too fast for that localizer. This descent going up just a little bit higher of a rate. There we go. About 1,500 feet, and then we'll do it. Alright, passing through flight level 240. And we're going to be going back down into the clouds, so I'm going to go ahead and kick on the anti-eyes again. Have some pretty strong winds coming up through here. Let's see what I can do about updating my jet database while we're descending. Expired November 1st. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. And come back out. The good thing is it takes maybe 10 seconds. Maybe a little bit more, but it's not enough to close anything up to the flight. Once we get to the VOR, we're going to go and track 173 out, and that'll get us, actually what we're going to do is we're going to track 280, and then we'll swing around at Vages. So Vages is going to be about 234 off of the boiler VOR and 150 from the Peatone VOR. Some people call it Peatone, I call it Peatone, I don't know why, it's different I guess. By the way, this is a real flight that Jet USA flies a lot. So recently, there has been a lot of of problems at the local Subaru factory. Because Lafayette has a Subaru factory. We do a lot. I think we do body assembly. So, all right, coming up flight level 190, 1,000 feet to go before we have to reset to 3017. Wow, that was a really rapid rise. It was in the that was a really rapid rise too, because I was in 70. I was in one of the DC-9s from Ameristar today. They just took me out of the plane while they were getting ready to pre-flight, or they were getting ready to go out. I'm writing down the ages for the guy. It was 2978. Now it's 3017. So. All right, getting ready to reset the altimeter. By the way, the reason I keep my camera here is because I can see everything. I can see all the instruments. 100 feet to go. All right, and there we go. 3, 0, 1, 5, 6, 7. Alright, that's through flight level 180, and go ahead and speed back just a tad. Aha, the full lights. And the panel lights. Yay. Alright, so, under normal circumstances, what I do is I would just ask ATC where I am. Since I don't have that, we're going to go ahead and cheat and use the map. The sim doesn't crash. There we go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the IFR high-end route flight. Wow, that's a lot of airports. Alright. So this is actually what we did. And heading straight to the boiler VOR. Wow. These are actually pushing us further off. We're just going to be on flight 280 now. Alright. And one of the things I love about the DC-9 is the fact that the spoilers work. Now, there should be an annunciator up here somewhere that says spoiler deployed, and I don't know where it is. I mean, I do know where it is. It's just it's got an amber dash through it. Alright. Pass through flight low or correction. Pass through 14,000 feet. We're just gonna go ahead and level off at 10. Alright. So as far off as we are, I'm honestly surprised. Yeah, honestly, if we would have kept this track, we would have just wound up right over Lafayette. So, alright. So, coming up on 250 knots. You just have to be at 250 once we hit 10,000. Also, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and hit the landing lights now. Pass through 13,000. And we're going to get our landing card. So, we're going to go and say we're the widest we can be. At 30 tons, landing. So, our V approach at flaps 40 is going to be 113. I'm going to fly this thing at about 125 knots. 2,000 to go. So, V flaps. So, our flaps, flap schedule clean. Slats out at 146. That seems real low. So, oh wow, it didn't give me a holding speed. So 178. That's impressive. Alright. Alright, got 1,000 to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do is just take us right down to 2,300. 3,000 rather. So 3,000. Alright. Bring that down. I love how the speed brakes actually work in this airplane. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and set 100 in the course on this one, just as a reminder. Zero 30 miles to boiler. Once we hit boiler, it'll be 280 on the radio, and we'll be. All right, now we're coming into some light shop. What I'm going to go ahead and do is tune in the Lafayette tower frequency 119.06. Transfer it. And we're going to go ahead and call about 15 to the west, 15 to the east. Lafayette traffic, Jet USA 228 type DC-9 is going to be about 10 to the west. We're going to be circling around, landing runway 10 Lafayette. Alright, and before we enter the Class Delta airspace, we have to make sure that we are at most 200 knots. So we're going to go ahead and bring our speed down more. 8,000. 200 for the ILS. And we've got a straight tailwind. So what may end up happening is, if we break out below the clouds, I'm going to circle to land, and I'm just going to fly the downwind for runway 28. Let's see where I am. Alright. So about this time, ATC would actually have me swinging south to about 260. That clicking sound is really annoying. Alright, so we've slowed to about 200 knots. Passing about 6,000 feet, I'm going to go ahead and extend the slats rather. So at some point we're going to see this little guy come up. Alright, slats extended. Wow, no wing inspection lights. I forgot about that. Because the exterior floods aren't on. I've got all the other lights on now, so I'll have to wait until a daytime approach can be done. Although we can cheat a little bit. Maybe not. Wow. This airplane really likes to speed up, doesn't it? So, like any jet, the DC-9 likes to speed up. Unlike any jet, however, like I said, the speed brakes actually work. So, 4,000 feet, we're going to go ahead and level off at 3, and I'm going to fly the... I'm betting if I wanted to, I could probably swing straight south and then just land runway 28. Because that'll give me a 10 knot headwind, or a 15 knot headwind rather. So what I may end up doing is if I break out, I'll just fly downwind and then come in for runway 28, because X-plane can be notoriously tricky when it comes to... Alright, 200 to go. 100 to go. Oh, look at that. Well, 100 feet it through again. So, this comes back down. We're going to go ahead and bring the power back up. Box 5. Damn it, again. Alright, we're in the clouds. Alright, so we're at 3,000. 265. Alright. 110.3 is the RLS frequency. Although we have an airline in this airplane. Alright. EOR is basically right in front of us. Alright, so we have actually just started to come through 2,500 feet above the ground. This part of Indiana is real hilly. Since we're coming up on the Wabash River, it's mostly plains right now, but since we're around the Wabash River, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Also, looks like we've got some birds coming around Lafayette. I know I'm kind of cheating here, but not really that worth it. Alright, so we're not going to go ahead and work with the VOR anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and set 110.3 and then 100. So 100 is what I've got set, and I'm going to hold off on doing that because broken at 3,200. Yeah, I'm not going to break out before, because technically I'm about 2,600 feet. I see nothing. Alright. So that means that we're going to be landing runway 10, because that is the only thing that DC-9 is actually allowed to do. So, 210, we're well outside the Class Delta airspace. The Class Delta's ring actually goes out to about right here. It's about 44 India November. That's about where Lafayette's Class Delta airspace ends. Details. Side conditions 1500 overcast. 28015 gust 23, altimeter 3013. This is going to be an interesting one. Also, X-Plane's giving me a different altimeter setting, so I'm going to go ahead and set that. 543. Alright. So what I'm going to do, so you've got Lafayette here and you've got the final approach fix here. So the final approach fix right here at Earl, this is a 401 kilohertz, it's a 401 kHz ADF. Alright. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably listen to it. Open the approach plate. Alright. So, now it's come the time we're going to go ahead and descend to 2,300. Bring the power back about 30%. And we're just going to make a nice, slow, gradual descent. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take it a little bit further than Earl. Now this is about where I want the RMI to come in, but it doesn't seem to want to track an ADF. Because if it was tracking an ADF, I'd have it set here, but it doesn't seem to want to do that, so I'm not really that worried about it. It is bumpy. Bumpy. If you guys are hearing talking in the background, I'm in a college dorm, and well, it's a Thursday night, so people are starting to get ready for the weekend, which is no big deal. Alright, 100, 100, and... Alright, so we're starting to pick up the localizer. Haven't picked up the glide slope yet, but that'll come through here real soon. 200 to go. So at 1,500, what I can do... I have to fly... Alright, so we have broken out of the clouds. That would not be the first time I've done that. Alright. Well, so you guys are watching me royally embarrass myself, because I was supposed to set this descent 500 feet ago. So we're gonna go and climb back up. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and do IAS hold. Wow, okay, maybe not. Because that's gonna get me up there real quick. And speed 0. Okay, so autopilot. This thing's a little bit odd. Alright, so we're back in the clouds. Somewhere around there. Close that way. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and turn to about. We're gonna go and turn to about 150. Alright. Flaps 5, we're gonna go and just keep our speed coming down. Very good bank. Alright, and out of the clouds we go. So, because we are coming right out of the clouds. Like the clouds are literally, we're at the fringes of it. So, alright, so heading at 150, we've decreased our angle of bank to level. And right now we are just waiting for. We're far enough away actually that I'm pretty sure we can just go ahead and do 140. There's 140. 170 knots. At 1,500 feet, let's go gear down, flaps 15. Okay, well that's typical Bluetooth localizer again. I haven't been doing that a lot lately. Alright, so coming back around. So you're 20 degrees off, that'll get me reintroduced. Alright. I was waiting for the glide slope to kick in too. We're receiving it, the glide slope is alive. Alright. Alright, and we are centered. Just about. 160. Alright, we can't see a damn thing at the front of the airplane. There's 23. Alright, there's the glide slope. We're going to go ahead and start a 700 foot per minute descent. There's the outer marker. That's 25. Alright, and we're out of the clouds. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the descent. I'm going to go ahead and give myself a bank over for left traffic, runway 28. And I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little bit of speed. Lafayette traffic, Jet USA 228 is going to be sidestepping off the ILS runway 10 and entering left downwind runway 28 for Jet USA 228, type DC-9 at Lafayette. So that was a horrible radio call, but we'll make it work. Alright. So we don't want to go back into the clouds either. We're well below. Problem is we have a tailwind, and that is going to make it real tough to land this thing. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back out, heading of 100. And we're back in the clouds. So I'm going to go and descend to 1,000 feet. There's the airport. Yeah, we're zooming. Thousand feet. All right. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and collapse 40. Alright, we're at 500 feet. That's what it looks like from the outside. Alright, there's 28. That's the runway that I'm going to be landing on. Let's go ahead and stop our descent. There's 500 feet. Oh, that's typical. Aren't you guys glad I don't fly this thing in the in real life? The good thing is I can save it. Just gonna be real rough.
Minimums.
Minimums, runway in sight.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20. 10.
Alright. Off in Charlie 2. Oh, welcome to Lafayette after an absolutely shit-tastic landing. Ooh, awakening into IFR flight, I'll tell you that much. It's been a while since I've done much of that. Alright. So. Alright, landing lights coming off. Ice protection's coming off. APU is coming on. Alright, and what we're going to be doing is parking at the FBO. We're just going to park next to the ATR. And my dumbass completely forgot about the checklist. Well, that's why these planes have two pilots. Because they are so complex that you have to monitor a crap ton of systems, and then you have to fly as well. So, two pilot cockpits, ladies and gentlemen. Now, they got this wrong. This is not Taxiway Fox. This is Charlie 1 still. Is it? Alright, there's the FedEx bird. We've got 82 degrees of turning radius here. So we're going to use it to our advantage here. Just going to walk up next to it. We're going to taxi up next to the terminal, or to the hangar here. And we're going to kick it into a very tight turn. Alright. Airplane is stopped. Parking brake is set. AP power is available. We'll go ahead and hit the air and then shut the engines down. Alright. Well, welcome back to Lafayette. Current time is 10:56 p.m. Well, hopefully y'all didn't, hopefully it wasn't too bad. Like I said, it's been a while since I've, one, flown this airplane, and two, done much in the way of manual IFR stuff. I'm a real-world pilot, by the way. It's very rare that I fly like this. But I've got an idea of what I got to do for. I got an idea. It's just landing can be a tricky beast. Anyway, so thanks for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream here just because I cannot remember the shutdown procedure for the DC-9 to save my life. So I'm gonna spare myself the embarrassment. But anyway, hope y'all had a good time. Hope y'all thought it was a halfway decent flight up until the end. And I will be back soon, hopefully, to do another DC-9 flight. Hopefully it'll go better. Till then, adios, amigos.